Yo guys, Mike for Sim Racing 604, and welcome back to the 12 Cars of Christmas. This is where I count down the top 12 best sim racing cars I drove. And this year for 2023, it's going to be the same format that I used before, 12 cars, 12 videos, and counting down roughly in order of preference. So we'll start at number 12. This is the Radical SR10 XXR. Let's go ahead and put in some laps here at Silverstone and talk all about why this almost made it into my top 10, but did make it into my top 12 best new or updated sim racing cars of the year. So what is it? Well, it's the official mod of the Radical SR10 XXR. Radical is known for its track-focused but somewhat attainable. I think it's still carrying a sticker price of near $200,000 when fully optioned, but still, it's not like you're driving a $1 million Ferrari track toy or something like that. It comes in significantly less than that. Still out of range for people like me, but just the same, we get to drive it here in the sim for just a few dollars. So it is a paid mod. It comes to us from United Racing Design, and yeah, did get the stamp of approval from Radical, so you know that the specs are fairly accurate. Specs and performance are fairly accurate. So it claims a time around Silverstone of under 2 minutes, 1:58 in fact, so it puts it roughly on pace with GT3 cars, which is remarkable for a track toy, of course. And you know, open top obviously, and huge fun. So even though it's at the bottom of my countdown list this year, still deserves, you know, serious consideration. I have fun with this every time I drive it. It is the definition of do not judge a car with cold tires. The first 2 laps are going to be iffy. You're probably going to be understeering. You're probably going to be, you know, tail happy at times on corner exit, and you'll be wondering, well, what is Mike talking about? And then you get these tires and brakes up to temp, and it's like, oh, now I get it. It's a fun little track toy, and again, definitely deserves a spot on my best of list for 2023. There's still roughly a month to go in the year, so will we see cars that would come out and unseat this, push it outside of my top 12? Quite possibly. Racing Studio has a tendency to do holiday releases, so we might see one more car from them coming. My suspicion is, and I don't have this on any authority whatsoever, that we will see one more in their GT3 or GTM class, as they call it. But will it be good enough to unseat this? I don't know. Again, I love this car. It's just a fun little track toy. I've thrown a bunch of exotic cars out here. You can see their position in the top right-hand corner of your screen. I've got the map pulled up, and it shows my position relative to the other cars on the track. And you will see how quickly I close in on the likes of Ferraris, Porsches, and I think even Lamborghinis are out here. And even, I think I put an SR3 XXR out here. So this thing is just performing well above its price point. And ultra fast. I don't think I would put in a 1:58 in this car, especially while talking, but you get the point. I should be in the, you know, 202, 203 range, and that is, you know, with a full tank of gas. So yeah, you can imagine what this is capable of in the right hands, and with, you know, a reduced, you know, track focused fuel load. Force feedback is beautiful. Performance of the car, beautiful. Really a lot of fun. It kind of unfortunately lands on an island. It's hard to tell sort of what to race this against. You can do one make kind of track days here in Assetto Corsa, but not necessarily meant for racing. I don't think there's a series, there's an official series that uses the SR10 XXR, so it's more of just a track toy. And again, huge fun to, you know, push this around the likes of Nordschleife or even your favorite local track. But yeah, it kind of falls outside of, you know, common usability for a lot of these cars. So yeah, that's why it kind of slips a bit down on my list, but definitely worthy of top 12. And so what I want to say about United Racing Design is that this represents kind of the best of what they've done lately. I would say this is as good or better than their SR3 XXR. which was their other official Radical mod. But the problem is we're seeing a lot of inconsistency from United Racing Design, so hoping that 2024 is a better year for them. They put out some interesting mods this year. The Ferrari GT3, the 296 GT3 among them. I did not like that car, and then unfortunately they released their Lexus GT3 just after Race Sim Studio did the same. Or was it just before? I can't remember the order. Either way, Race Sim Studio unfortunately just made a better car, and it was the same car. So it's kind of a tough year for United Racing Design, but then they come along and put out something like this, and it's kind of a case where, you know, all sins are forgiven. Like, it performs beautifully, huge fun, and yeah, you realize what the team at URD is capable of. So I hope they can, you know, put together a more consistent year next year, and I look forward to their releases always. It's just kind of become inconsistent of late, but definitely check out this SR10. The SR3 is free, so if you want to sort of dip your toes into the world of official Radical mods and what United Racing Design is capable of, give that a search. But the yeah, SR3 is free, the SR10 is paid, and the SR10 actually has different engine modes. So when you first boot this up, it defaults to the Cup mode, which is about 350 horsepower if I'm not mistaken, and I have it turned up right now to 425 horsepower. So there's a lot more on tap that you can use, or if you want to keep it in Cup mode and have it be a little more easily controllable, you can definitely do so. That is your prerogative. But yeah, either way, I think you're going to enjoy this one. So we'll finish up with this lap and the kickoff for 2023 12 Cars of Christmas. And again, strong recommendation. Even though this sits at the bottom of my list, it still beat out a lot of other cars that I tried this year. So yeah, definitely deserves its spot. And let's see, who are we chasing here? I can't make out the car yet. I don't think yeah, I think it's the Superfast. I was just gonna say, I don't think I've seen the 812 Superfast yet. And we are going to go right around the outside. You can see how much better the handling is in this Radical than on that Superfast. He'll probably catch me on the straight, but for now at least I'm getting out ahead. This car capable of some 300 kilometers an hour if given the right opportunity, and the 0 to 60 time under 3 seconds. In fact, the mid 2s. So this thing is fast as a bullet. You can see the great handling through Beckett's here. Beckett's. As fast as a GT3 through there, as far as I can tell. You know, by dint of being so light, its 4-cylinder engine gives it a lot of performance. And it's got a custom turbocharger for that engine to help give it an edge over the SR3, which I believe uses the same engine format. I could be wrong about that, but yeah, this is definitely the higher performing of the two Radicals. I'll drop a link to both in the description. Alright, let's go one more. Why not? We're enjoying ourselves. See if I can set a personal best here. I can't. No, that was a 201.970. We'll see if we can beat that. And again, when you first boot this up, do not judge this car with cold tires. Give it a couple laps to kind of come into temperature, and then the performance just kind of comes with that, and you feel much more confident in the car, able to push far harder than when it's cold. It stands to reason that that applies to all cars, but especially with this Radical. It's really an exaggerated effect, actually. I don't know if that's by design or if the car is actually like that. Sorry, I don't know if that's by design or accidental, but either way, give it time to come into its own. Alright, This is a fun little section here. 6th gear, 5th gear, 4th gear. Missed the apex. 3rd gear. How we doing? Minute 28. So we might be on pace for a new PB. We'll see how this corner goes. This is usually where I bin laps. But the rear end managed to hold on there. And braking hard down to 2nd gear here. Locking the brakes, locking the brakes. Managed to keep it under control. Big lock there. .840, that's slightly better. So that is your Radical SR10 XXR. Fun little mod, really deserving of its spot in my top 12 of the year. Well done to United Racing Design, and thank you for watching, and we'll be back with number 11 very soon.